everybody, today is a very special episode here on Something's Cooking TV because I'm cooking a dish that has a lot of meaning. When my father-in-law comes over, I know that the guy is always hungry and he loves his meat, but there's one thing that he loves more than anything in the whole wide world. It is a lamb shank. These are super delicious and super easy to make. And it's one of those dishes that you just get ready and you chuck it in the oven and you go on with your life. Let me show you how I do it. You gotta get a really nice cast iron pot because it just retains heat really well. And we're gonna warm that up, a little bit of olive oil. And all we're gonna do is just to gently sear the lamb shanks off and then get them off the pot as well. All right, let's warm up this oil. And then what we're gonna do is just sprinkle these lamb shanks with a little bit of salt and pepper. And you don't wanna crowd up your pan, so if you don't have a big pot and you need to do it in batches, please do so. So just a little bit of salt and pepper. And in they go. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna seal these off and then take them off and just do them in batches. All right, so just seal them. That's what you wanna get, just a bit of caramelization on that meat. And do it on the other side as well. All right, so these are sealed. And now we just chuck them on here, let them rest a little, and finish off the other two. Don't forget to season. All right, so the lamb shanks are sealed, and now in the same pot, we're gonna go in with a little bit of onion, some chopped garlic, and we're just gonna start building some flavor in here, and then as well some carrots. And all that you wanna do is just sweat out the onions here and just cook this down about 5 minutes or so. And then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Then we're gonna go in with a full bottle of red wine, right? Red wine, always think about, do you like to drink it? That's kind of the rule for me. It's just use wine that you like drinking. Don't go and buy cheap wine because you're cooking with it, because then you're not going to get that lovely flavor. So in you go with a full bottle of wine, 750 ml to be exact. Bring that together. And this is really where all the flavor is when that alcohol reduces and you're left with all that flavor. Now we're going to go in with some stock. We've got some chicken and some beef stock, right? So in we go with some chicken stock and then some beef stock. All right, the smell is lovely, and there is a lot of flavor in here right now. And now, lamb or cooking meat, one of the things that I did that was pretty cool exercise was to find out what herbs go with which proteins. And for me, and the obvious one, rosemary goes super well with lamb. And then we've got a bit of thyme here, which is also delicious with lamb and chicken. And then just to add a little bit of acidity and a little bit of that lovely acidity flavor that we get from zest, we're going with some lemon zest. Just to achieve real balance in our dish. And that we're gonna bring up to a bit of a simmer, and then we'll chuck the lamb shanks back in there. All right, that is looking delicious, smelling great. In we go back with the shanks. And we're gonna let them cook in all of this goodness. And this is why you need one of those big pots, just to make sure that you can get everything in there. And you just wanna make sure that these lamb shanks are submerged in the liquid. Don't forget to season, but don't go overboard because you got all that lovely stock in there, which has also got a lot of flavor and saltiness. So just make sure that you keep tasting along the way. But this is literally why I love this dish, because all that work is going to be done in here, in the oven for 2.5 hours. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna get this into the oven for 2.5 hours. In you go, my friend. All right, so this bad boy's been in the oven for a good 2.5 hours. Ah, my goodness, damn. I didn't know you looked that good. And what we're going to do now is just let this reduce on the stove top, really medium heat, and just to let that sauce reduce. And whilst that's doing its thing, we can move over here. And what we're going to be making is something that's really special, and I think something that's really delicious that my wife often makes at home, and it's something that I think we should eat more of it because it's so cool, and it's polenta, which is like Italian pap, for the lack of a better word. So into a pot, we're gonna go with some water, and we're making creamy polenta. So water and some cream. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that up to a boil. Also, don't forget to season. Bring that up to a boil. And then we add our polenta, and polenta cooks really quickly. And it's you can treat it or think about it the same way as we think of pap. The texture, it also kind of gets cold really quick, or sets rather really quickly, and it's just so damn good. And this with the cream and the parmesan, can't go wrong. Let's bring that up to a boil. Okay, so this is boiling, and now it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just add in your polenta, keep stirring as you go, just so that we don't create any lumps. And yeah, baby. Right, and then just periodically just keep on stirring this every now and then until you see it come together. All right, turn down your heat, so just to a gentle simmer, and then just keep stirring. This should take about 10 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. Comes together really quickly, and what you're looking for is like a really good mash sort of consistency, in with a bit of butter, because a little butter never hurt nobody. And then in with some parmesan as well. And parmesan, I think that this is the real secret here, is that parmesan and that cream and the butter, and that's what just transforms this into a bowl. I mean, you could just take this whole bowl and just eat. It's that good. Bring it all together, let that cheese melt and that butter melt, and then take it off the heat. And you're good. That's it, lamb shank. My father-in-law would eat this up in literally 5 minutes.